My name is Maya. I'm an illustrator and animator. A little context behind this trip. My boss, and it feels so weird to call her my boss because it sounds so formal and it's really not that serious of a dynamic. I met her through my college art professor. She needs more people to do animations for this dance company, and it's just a few simple rotoscope animations, and I was just starting to learn how to animate. Fast forward to 2025, and that same dance company, they're an indigenous group that perform their traditional dances all around the world. They've even performed at the Sydney Opera House. They need more animations for a new show. So my boss hits me up. She wants to make the animations even grander with even more complex stuff. And what program does she want to use? Blender. I've never worked in Blender, neither has she, really. All I know is that people use it for 3D stuff, and I'm a 2D animator. I've never really dabbled in 3D, unless you count stop motion. So my boss wants to fly me out to Austin, Texas so we can learn the program together. She got a grant to do all that, and I'm down. She had a friend who had a spare house in their backyard that I could stay in, and she was going to pay for all the groceries and drive me everywhere. At first I didn't want to impose and have her do all that, like all the driving, until I realized that Austin is no small drive down the street. It's literally over a 24-hour drive. And the furthest I've ever driven was the Jersey Shore, which is only like an hour, not even. So yeah, that's the context. I needed to learn how to use Blender, and this is how it went. On the first day, I landed in the afternoon, and my aunt, who lives in Austin, offered to pick me up from the airport and then drop me off at the house that I was staying at. This is home for a week. I still have to unpack. This is the little kitchen. My boss got me some groceries. This was a day to just unpack and settle in. I would go to the studio and have an onboarding tomorrow. To start the day, we went to a cafe called Cosmic, which was right across from the studio. I got a hot matcha latte and then we went to work. My boss and her husband run a dog kennel on the side, and her office space is in the same building. It was a pretty long day that started at 8 a.m. and then I got back to the house around 7 p.m. It looks like we just ate the whole day, but I swear we got some work done, and I was pretty tired. There was randomly a gym in the back of the building that they shared with the building owners. I mentioned to my boss that I started working out recently, so we did a little push day before we started in the office.
Yep, there you go. You did it!
After we familiarized ourselves with Blender a little more, it was time to take me home, and she let me fill up her gas tank, and then we got a sweet treat. I decided to take a walk down to Guadalupe Street, which they also call the Drag, and it's just a bunch of shops and places to eat. This whole week we were trying to figure out ways to 2D animate in Blender efficiently, and this day specifically I was figuring out a lip sync library so that we wouldn't have to animate every frame of the mouth talking. And then I recorded myself doing some reference videos for when I would animate later. I got sunburnt on my walk yesterday. I should have reapplied sunscreen because I get burnt so easily, but I figured since I was just going out for a silly little walk for like an hour, I wouldn't get burnt. And then I got burnt. And here we are. By now I was starting to feel like we had gotten into a pretty solid routine. I'd get picked up in the morning around 8 a.m, we'd grab a little bite to eat, and then work throughout the whole afternoon, and then she'd drop me off at the casita and I'd wind down for the night. By this point, there wasn't really much to work on in Blender, but one of my boss's friends is a videographer and he came in to interview me about the behind the scenes of the project. Then we got sandwiches and ate at the park. I played some Pokemon Go, and then we went back to her house to sort out her son's toys. And then I just wound down for the night. Feeling a bit low energy and just like self-conscious, but I know it'll pass. And right now we're gonna go to H Mart. Apparently the H Mart is like a big mall, so I'm excited, and there's like crane games. So maybe that'll take my mind off of my skin and how itchy it is. We had a little goodbye dinner at this cute spot. I got a shrimp banh mi, and that was pretty much it. It was time to wind down, pack, and go home. Not gonna lie, I was pretty excited to go back home to Jersey. My social battery was depleted and I was just missing my family, my boyfriend, and my cat.
Hey, Rose.
Stay with me now. This shit.
Bussin'. Oh. I'm gonna eat these cheesesteaks and then go home and probably watch some Solo Leveling. And that's the end of the week.
Who are you talking to?
I was talking to... Wait, there was just someone over there.
This trip wasn't really what I was expecting, because I was expecting to learn 3D animation and like sculpting and all that, but I ended up learning how to use Blender for 2D animation, which is fine. We're utilizing like a 2D, 3D kind of workspace. She has the vision, so I trust. I did really love Austin as a city. It was like one of the favorite cities I've ever visited. It was super lively. There were so many good restaurants. Even though I didn't get to try a lot of the stuff I wanted to. Like my boss took me to a bunch of places that she liked, but I did want to try like good barbecue, of course, because it's Texas. I did want to try kolaches. I forget exactly what it is, but everyone was hyping that up, but I didn't get to try that. I think I'll just have to go back, maybe on a girls' trip with my best friend, or go back with my boyfriend because he also wants to see Texas and try the barbecue. I know it sounds bad, like barbecue, like all I know about Texas is barbecue. But yeah, the city was beautiful. It wasn't anything like I was expecting. To be honest, my vision of Texas was like the old western style with like the saloons in the desert with cactus and tumbleweeds. So yeah, that was refreshing to see. I was taken really good care of. I am so lucky to have traveled and had everything paid for. My boss was so generous, so accommodating, so it was a really nice trip overall. I hope you enjoyed this little recap of my trip to Austin, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!